you must understand there are two different kinds of images or two different kinds of consecration. One is just a reverberation. You can even make this vessel reverberate, but you cannot access this vessel from elsewhere because it's simply reverberating without specificity of what it intends to do. It has no intention or intelligence. But consecrations which are as complex as the Devi or much more with the Dhyanalinga is, they are not limited by physical space. Wherever you are, if your doors are open, it's available. Many people, the first time it happened in United States, I think this was just the second program, inner engineering program we were doing. There was a lady who was involved in all kinds of, whatever, certain type of work from Caribbean islands. She went on doing something with her pencil in the book. You know, we have a problem with people taking down notes. I said, no, you cannot take notes, just be with me. She will be looking at me, not even looking at the book, just looking at me and just doing this with her pencil. Then at the end of the 3-hour session, she said, I don't know why this came, something came out of this and this is the thing that, the form that came out of me. I didn't know what happened. As I was looking at you, I was trying to sketch you, but this is what I got. It's a clear proportion of the Dhyanalinga. She just got the image of Dhyanalinga, like she completely… the whole page she scratched with her pencil. What was left unscratched was just the form of Dhyanalinga exactly, the same exact proportion. But she was trying to make a picture of me. So I'm telling you, consecrated forms are not limited to its physical space.
As Dhyanalinga is not a particular physical form, but it's an energy form which defies time and space. So if one is willing, it's available to you wherever you are. But still that may sound very abstract for many of you. So I would say it's best if you have made at least one visit, if you have beheld Dhyanalinga, if you have sat there, the sowing of the spiritual seed through the Dhyanalinga will anyway happen within you. And if you just fix a certain time for yourself, preferably in the morning or evening, and simply sit quietly, the energy of Dhyanalinga will definitely envelop you from within. And if you need some visual help, you can always have an image or a yantra which will give you the necessary support. But all these supports are only because one is psychologically distracted, otherwise none of these are needed. The sowing of the spiritual seed that happens by being in the presence will take care of this anyway. But if you need support, you can always have visual support or even the mantra, a CD being played or something like this, which will give you the necessary auditory support. But essentially, if you just keep one space in your house and simply sit quietly, you should feel that space from within yourself, if you have been in that space. Even if you have not been in that space, it is possible, but you must be in a certain level of receptivity which may not be possible for everyone.
One of the tasks that we are given and trying to do is to raise taking care of a kid at home, taking care of your children at home. But we are troubled with whenever we need to make a decision or not to make a decision, we are troubled with what to consider and what not to consider. Can you give us some perspective about something that we should think while making a decision or not making a decision for the kids?
Why are you making all the decisions for them?
So that's the trouble. I'm not sure if I'm sure I'm not the right person to make the decision, but should that be made or not? Like, what do I do when I need to do something?
First thing we need to understand is children only come through you. They don't come from you. They're not your property to be conducted whichever way you feel fit. No, they're… If you treat them as your property or your future investment, if you treat them as such, you are committing a certain sacrilege against creation and the Creator, for which there will be a price. Simply it'll come in the form of life, or maybe it'll come in the form of your children, the price. Yes, it'll be very unfortunate to see that. I'm saying this, very cruel thing to say to any parent, but I'm saying this because it's a very cruel thing to parent a child. The child doesn't need that. But please see, in so many ways you're doing everything possible to see that he remains dependent on you in some way or the other. You're not thinking of liberating him. So, the moment you start working, you want your children to be attached to you, isn't it? Well, you yourself open Bhagavad Gita and read and say, you should not be attached, I should not be attached. You tell your wife, see, don't be attached to me. But your children, you want them attached to you. So, before you choose to have children, you must think about these things, but if already it has happened, now at least now you must think about it properly, seriously. One thing is, if you want to produce something little better than yourself to the world, it's important. If you produce a child, it must be at least one step better than you, isn't it? The same nonsense is going to happen once again. What's the point? So something better than you has to happen means the first and most fundamental thing is, you are 100% straight. Even if it's embarrassingly straight, you're 100% straight is important. This is something very hard for most parents because that's the only place where they get to boss around. They have a committed audience in their children. Wherever else they speak, nobody will listen to them. Children till they become 12 years of age. 13 is dangerous. Till they become 12 years of age, you have a committed audience. You're losing that also, many of you. Much earlier, isn't it? Yes, much earlier you're losing it. So, how old are they? Huh? Okay, there's enough room for correction. You must do this. Stop parenting them. What they need is some good company, not a bloody boss walking around in the house. Yes or no? When you were growing up, did you like it? Being talked down to, did you like it? No. So what they need is a friend. They don't need a bloody father and… that job is already done. Fathering somebody, mothering somebody means biologically delivering them, that's been done. Now they're trying to become a life by themselves. What they need is a friend. The only qualification you have against them or over them is, you came here a few years earlier than them, that's all you have. What else do you have, I'm asking? Are you sure you're more intelligent than your child? Are you sure? Huh? What? Yeah. So, the most important thing you need to understand, just you came here a few years earlier than them. All you have done is a few years earlier you landed here. Beyond that, you have no other qualification to tell them what to do and what not to do. Yes or no? But The other consideration is, if you don't tell them, somebody else unqualified advice on the street will happen. You only have to guard them against that. But if you have to guard them against that you must have the courage to bring them up in such a way that they don't take any advice from you either. You say, what I say you must listen, but don't listen to your friend. He's telling you to take a drug, don't listen to him. But what the friend says seems to be more of a pleasure than the nonsense that you're talking about. It's a fact, isn't it? So it's not going to work. If you bring up your child with such a fierce sense of his own intelligence and his own decisions, then you will see, he will seek help, because he will very easily realize that his intelligence, his understanding is not good enough for everything. But if you bring him up that he has to listen to your advice, he will come up with a rebelliousness. Even when good things are said, he won't do that, he will do the reverse of it. This is something that most parents are experiencing, isn't it? He wants to do just the reverse of it, just to feel independent, because he doesn't know what it means to be independent. So, 4 is not bad. Now, you can start treating them as just one more person, not as my child, it is not yours, I'm telling you. At the most, you're given some genetic substance to create a body. You can't create a life, don't have such grandiose ideas about yourself. You cannot create a life. You just provided some substance, some genetic substance to make a body, yes? That too, you did not think about all these things. Out of your own compulsions, you do something and they land up. Yes? So, understanding that a child is not your making, it's a privilege, they have come through you. Enjoy the privilege, cherish the privilege, respect the privilege. Do not abuse the privilege that's been given to you. It's very important. Why are you brought up this or that? You're supposed to grow up as a human being, isn't it? It is just that most people never create an atmosphere for people to grow. They are brought up the way you want them to be, not the way they should be as life. If you're not ramming up nonsense into their head, they have a tremendous sense of observation. And observation naturally pops up a million questions. You answer as many questions as you can, the way you know it. What you don't know, you just tell them, I don't know. My only problem is I came a few years earlier than you, this doesn't mean I know everything. Admit it to your children, what's the problem? Yes? You think they can't read, you're not even bloody sincere about things that you're saying? You think they can't see it? If you think they can't see it, I want you to know, by the time they are 10, 12, 13, if they have some problem within them, they don't come to you, they go to their friends. Why? Because they feel they are more sincere than you. No other reason. Yes, sir. You're acting like you'll drop from heaven. Who wants to listen to your nonsense? Unless they're so bloody brainwashed by the time they're 10, 12. They will not listen. Any intelligent human being will not listen to bullshit. Yes or no? Unless you're brought up on it seriously. So, just handle this privilege sensibly, respectfully. Do not abuse this privilege. Just you have to protect them from wrong influences. Rest, leave them free. If you think they will anyway go wrong, that must be your own self-knowledge. You're so sure of yourself, my children bound to go wrong. Just protect them from… you have to protect them a little bit from wrong influences. But at the same time, they must remain free of your influence, which is also a bad influence. I'm saying, if you
show that what you're doing is of real worth and you're willing to invest your life in that, why would your children not invest their life in it? If you don't show that commitment, if you do not show that involvement with life and you're expecting them to become wonderful whatever, no, it will not happen. And they don't listen to what rubbish you say, they're observing what you do and how you are, isn't it? So if you want to raise children, please raise yourself. Don't worry about the children. Just raise yourself into a wonderful human being, make yourself that. It will reflect. It cannot go wrong. But there's no guarantee. Like in everything in life, there's no guarantee because there may be some other stronger influence on the street side, isn't it?
Well, if you made it here, it shows you're ready to change. You're done with running. This kind of attention is rare, it's precious. Drop your city in the comments, and if you'd like, share this with someone who's also thirsty for clarity. Thank you, Big Hug, and see you soon.